Hello again, this is BGFH back here for another Let's Play. And this time we're going to take a look at another classic PC game, also developed by id Software. A little while ago we took a look at Wolfenstein 3D a little bit. And this time I want to take you through at least the Shareware episode of one of the most, I would say, influential games ever. The original Doom. Wolfenstein 3D was really cool, really popular, but when Doom came out, that was really like nothing anyone else had ever seen, myself included. So I'll be talking a little bit about the game as we go through it here. But there's even a book out there called The Masters of Doom, which goes through some of its history, and I read through it. It's a really, really good book. I'd highly recommend it. But the amount of productivity and just how it brought the internet to a screeching halt when the Doom Shareware episode came out was amazing. And we'll get into more of that later. But I'm playing this actually through the Doom 3 BFG edition that just came out last month. And I'm doing that versus the regular classic, the original version, just because I think it'll work a little bit better for capturing and just kind of some of the control stuff, as I'll talk about here. But we got Doom 3 here, we got Doom, and Doom 2, which I may cover at least some of those in a future video as well. But for now, let's get into Doom Shareware. And here we go. So, accessibility-wise, the first thing to notice is the main menu here. It may be a little hard for some people to read. The text is pretty large, definitely large, but as you can tell, especially when they got the gameplay loop going in the background here, you're not going to get a solid contrast. So, if that red text is going to be a little bit hard to see in some areas, especially with that first background or things moving, it can be a little hard. Thankfully, there's not much you have to do in the menus. So if I go into options, see, there's not a whole lot here. So it's really not that bad. The interface when I play is pretty much just like Wolfenstein 3D. You've got the bar across the bottom, and then your gameplay area. So with that, enough blabbing, let's get into it. We'll do a new game, and Doom actually has 4 episodes. It actually originally had 3, but then they added a 4th one called in Ultimate Doom, and that mission is really, really hard. I don't think I've ever beat it without cheating. It's crazy. But anyone who has played classic first-person shooters has played Episode 1, Knee Deep in the Dead, which is what we're going to do here today. And I'm going to do the default difficulty. I have beat it on Ultraviolent, but that's pretty fun. But Nightmare is indeed a nightmare. Basically, it's not just the more guys and you take less hell or you get hurt faster, but guys respawn. So you've got a horde of guys, you kill them, 30 seconds later they respawn. So yeah, it's insane. Let's do it. And one thing I will note when we first start here, one of the coolest things back in the day about Doom was its soundtrack, its MIDI soundtrack. Check it out. Kicking in with the drums. So I had grown up playing, Atari, Nintendo. Oh, whoops! I don't know why that happened. I had, like I said, grown up playing Atari, Nintendo, and I love those games. I still do. But when I saw this for the first time and I heard it, especially on a good sound card, it was freaking amazing. The Sound Blaster cards, which were really the standard back in the day, they were okay, but the soundtrack was really poor, I thought, as far as the MIDI music goes. If you had a really good sound card, you would get something like you were hearing here, and it was just a kick-ass rockin' thing. It's just anyone says E1 M1, boom, this is it. Just everybody knows. So, like I said, compared to Wolfenstein 3D here, we got our bar on the bottom, we got our ammo or health, our picture of our dude down there, any armor, which we don't have yet, and some keys and a bunch of other little miscellaneous information, but really, ammo, health, armor, and some keys, that's really pretty much all we care about. So let's get to it. Again, comparing it to Wolfenstein 3D that we've looked at, just a huge, I think it was like a year later, year and a half maybe tops, going from what you saw in Wolfenstein 3D, everything was flat. There was the wall, the ceiling, the floor, everything was at right angles. Really fun game, but just a year later going to this, we've already got pedestals, you got this one that's actually rotating right now, you've got windows that look outside, pretty cool looking skybox, just a huge step up, and you'll get to see some like interesting lighting effects as we get into a couple levels here. So not a big deal by today's standards, but back in the day, oh man, like I said, this thing was crazy awesome. I still remember just being blown away. So I'm gonna grab some these little items here are health, little one point health items. Here's a little secret most people forget to look at. Boom, head out here. That's some poison that'll damage you there, as it just did a little bit. But normally you have to go through the door and go through the level, but I took a little shortcut here. And unlike Wolfenstein 3D, there's a lot of secrets, but they varied them up a lot more. So, in Wolfenstein 3D you could punch the wall, or you could, keep tapping the wall and see if anything was out there. But we have that, but now we have a lot of floor switches or invisible triggers that we'll get into that, like I said, as I'll go through some of the secrets here. But just everything in this game was improved tenfold over Wolfenstein 3D. Like I said, I still love me some Wolfenstein 3D, but Doom is pretty awesome. So the basic gist of Doom is there's not really a whole lot of story. You don't really need it. You run, you gun, you shoot stuff, and try not to get killed. That's pretty much it. Basically, you're on this base on Mars, and there's a portal. They opened a portal to hell by accident, and now we've got demons and all sorts of other monstrosities taking over the base. So we have to kill them. Actually, I think there's a shotgun thing over. Yes, I missed, which I don't have the shotgun yet, but I will in a minute. Okay, kill that guy. That's an imp. He will shoot fireballs at you. Boom. And we can blow up barrels. So, okay. Now these here, this door here is the exit door, which most levels end with. Not all of them later on, but most of them end with this. Kinda tells you that, okay, you're at the end of the level. But I don't want to do that yet, because there's still a couple of secrets I want to get before we end this first level and this great music. So we'll head in here. Remember I killed that imp that was sitting up there. And shotgun. One of the best shotguns in video game history, in my opinion, aside from the Doom 2 shotgun, which is even more kick-ass. And I'm going to do one other secret here. Hopefully I can make it work. Ah, too far. Alright, so we go back here. Hopefully I went back far enough. Come on. Ah, damn it. Try it one more time. I will get this, I swear. I'm going to try here. Come on. Oh, I was right there. So remember when I said triggers, like you have to, come on. Yes. There we go. Usually I get it a lot quicker, but these little skull things here, these are armor that we're picking up here, as you can tell to the right of my little avatar there. What I did is a lot of times you'll be walking through an environment and you'll hear like the sound of a door or an elevator or something like that. You'll hear it, but you're not quite sure what happened. And what happens if you go back far enough here, it's like a little invisible floor switch that will trigger that wall coming down for a period of time, and it'll take you up through that area, and then I can come back out up top. So just a little chance to get some armor, but there are secrets like that everywhere in Doom. I'm not going through for 100% walkthrough. I'll just take you through kind of what I remember in this first episode. I remember quite a few of the secrets, but maybe not quite so many in some of the later levels, but I should do okay. And we got a switch to end the level, just like Wolf 3D. And with that, we'll continue on to level 2 in the next video. Let's see how we did here. Not bad. Alright, so we will end that, and I'll see you in level 2.